welcome to Slash Aha! We're back with your monthly dose of flash fiction writing and mere anarchy. My name is Martin. I co-wrote this book, The McMurdo Rift, a space opera adventure. If you're into that sort of thing. With me, as always, is my partner in Slash... No, bad words. The glutton from Sutton, Dickie Holliday. How are you, sir?
Hello, I'm thrilled to be here on this scary occasion. If you don't know who I am, which you should do by now, I'm the Pineapple on Pizza guy. I also wrote this book, which is actually kind of on brand for Halloween. It is kind of creepy. If you haven't subscribed to my newsletter, do it now. But yeah, glad to be here with such a wonderful, scary panel.
And shall we go around clockwise? Anita, do you want to introduce yourself?
Okay, I'm Anita Stewart. I write under AF Stewart, dark fantasy, horror, poetry, all things dark and stabby. I also do interviews on YouTube with different authors, and I host the podcast for Go Indie Now, Words That Kill.
Cool. Hi, my name is Bethany Votaw. I write thrillers and short story collections under this name, and I have a short story collection, Scribbles and Scrawls, perfect for this time of year, running a sale through the end of October. Go ahead and grab it. And oh yeah, you have it. I just moved. I can't find any of my books, so thanks, Richard. Yeah, and Tracker. So those are what we have under this name, and I write under another pen name. And so yeah, you'll find me around YouTube, just mooching off of everyone's chats and whatnot. Happy to be here.
Hello, everyone. I'm the Mistress of Horror author, D.L. Tillery. You can catch me over on my channel talking about all the scary things and the not-so-scary things as well. Since I am the Mistress of Horror, that means I'm married to all the other genres, but I'm the Mistress of Horror. I like explaining that one to everybody. If you don't know about my short horror stories that have released, here they are, Fractals and The Room Within. And guess what? The Room Within, this one is free through Halloween weekend. So it's free today until November 1st for those who have not got a chance to read it. And also Lurking in the Dark has released, and I have a scary poem in here, and there's a whole bunch of other amazing scary stories in this book, like 19, 20 something different scary stories, so you won't sleep at night. So check that out if you haven't. And I'm here to see what kind of genre I'm going to get to write in. This is going to be interesting. I'm excited.
Martin, do you want to explain to the viewers at home how this thing works then?
Let me explain to the viewers how this thing works then. We are going to assign everyone a genre to write their flash fiction in. Usually we would have a prompt, but instead we are going to go with a opening line. It's a exciting new format point, which could be the hit sensation that's about to break out. We will have a bit of a discussion on what ideas people have. We will then write for 10 minutes without distraction, and unless we get distracted. Then we will regroup to discuss how it went, offer encouragement and what have you, and then take another 10 minutes to finish the stories. And then, because it's something scary for Halloween, we will read them aloud, which, trust me, if you're a writer, scares you to your bones.
It does.
If you're watching this and want to write along with us, then feel free, and you can send that in as well to be read aloud by Richard Holliday.
Oh dear, that's even more scary. I'm just saying hello to all our lovely lurkers and shirkers in the chat. I would call them flashers, but I've been told that is possibly libel.
But we can call them slashers, right?
Yes, we can call them slashers. Ben's here, and Martin is also here because he's on screen, so I hope he's here.
Wearing the same shirt. I love it.
Oh, you're as bad as Chris
Kenny. Just Eva's here, and she is appropriately dressed as, what's the one from Harry Potter? Professor McGonagall.
Yes. Cute.
One who's about 400 years old. Oh, I've just called Eva 400 years old. Not even 5 minutes in, I've insulted one of the audience. Aphrodite's here. Hello. Aphrodite has got a prompt. Very good. Who else is here? DL Tillery. We know she's here.
Yeah, excited. I'm here.
Ooh. Well.
Ooh.
I got the well in there. I did my duty. I gave you an idea. Now someone else take it away.
And this is indeed Votawson.
I don't remember writing that.
Well, at your age, Martin, anything could happen.
Back
And
again.
easy to say hi to
Oh dear,
everyone.
oh dear.
Yeah. And speaking of horror, pineapple on pizza rules.
That is terrifying.
Well, that could be a genre, but it isn't. So we've had some suggestions. I'm going to go through some that the panel suggested ahead of time. So let's see what we think. The first one on my list, in no particular order, because I've forgotten who wrote which one already, because I'm organised, is Nobody Told Me It Was a Costume Party.
That was me.
That's
Oh,
cute. I
okay.
like it.
I'm sorry, I'm thinking, will the rightful owner of this prompt please raise their hand? That's quite a good one. The doorbell rang 5 minutes before midnight.
Yeah, that was mine.
Ooh.
Guilty. And then the next one, that was DL's. Very good. And I came up with this one.
That's more than one sentence.
Oh, it's all sugar, so it is. I mean,
I'm kidding. It's okay.
It's fine.
I can change it to a semicolon if you want.
No,
I don't think it's correct.
I'm nitpicky over here.
Barrett, hello. Boo, work. Sod it,
It's
you know.
Saturday.
Barrett is our auditioning co-host who never actually turns up, so I don't know why he's still auditioning. Semicolon is cheating. Do we get extra points for putting fancy punctuation in?
I could go downhill real fast. That's a slippery slope.
Ben, what is your costume going to be? Is it going to be a marathon runner? Because that is horrific.
That's what I was thinking. Like, just slap one of your old numbers on. There you go.
He doesn't look too happy in that photo. He looks exhausted. I mean, that's what running does to you. Semicolon loophole. That could be the title of a very interesting book, I think. And Just Eva is in cat form at the moment.
Because you called her Professor McGonagall.
The recall there.
Oh, she's 480.
480.
Got her age wrong.
We have had some other prompts from members of our lovely audience. We've had one from Aphrodite Lee. This is nothing like the first time I died. Oh.
That's always a good one.
I like that.
And Bethany has come up with, there's a rumour that there was a witch that lived in the well. That's going to be interesting if anyone gets a non-fantasy genre in the wheel.
Nice.
Oh, and Books by Adrian is here. Hello.
Hi,
We
everyone.
recently pulled Martin's book apart on the BookTuber Books by Adrian Tuber Book Club thing. It's very fun.
3 of us have had our books on there, right? Yeah.
We have. And Bethany, as a fellow author, did you know that Books by Adrian said Martin's was his favourite so far?
Yeah, I was there. It's okay.
I was very insulted.
It's okay. Shannon said mine was her favorite, so we're okay. Just kidding. No, it's hard to find a good space opera, so I understand the appeal, definitely, for sure. Especially when like space opera's done, it can get cliche and tired, and Martin's book is a fresh take on it, so it's hard to find.
It was a very whimsical take, wasn't it? Wouldn't you agree, Martin?
I'll get these checks out to you, don't worry.
Thank you.
I mean, if you want to, you can just donate to my Ko-fi.
I mean, it's not very good, but it's not very long.
What are you talking about? It's great. I'm in the middle of book 2, beta reading for you guys. So
Oh, thank you very much.
yeah.
Actually, Mom, I have your book that's going to be in that that bundle that's the giveaway for people buy the raffle tickets. Whoever wins, I don't know. Right? Who going? So someone mysterious is going to get you a copy of this. So yay them!
Lucky so and so.
Right? Exactly.
I barely use capital. Oh, we're talking about the Oxford comma, which is a whole bone of contention, isn't it?
Oh Lord, not that rabbit hole. We all have the book.
And we've got. She has that book too. She bought it. She's good.
Yeah.
So, what are we thinking in terms of the prompts? Because we do have to kind of decide on a prompt. Of course, we're all just going to vote for our favourites, aren't we? Or the ones that we thought of.
Any of those works.
Yeah. You can put them all in the wheel and spin.
Yeah. I'm cool
Do
with
the
it.
wheel of prompts. Hang on, I've got to work out how to open up the wheel of prompts.
I used to do Barrett's prompts he used to do in the group. So that was always fun. I was like, oh, I'm writing a new story here. Like, so those prompts were really, really fun.
Yeah, he kind of stopped doing that, didn't he? Because we basically read them out.
Yeah, I think he did stop doing that, as far as I'm aware.
SD Houston's been doing prompts as YouTube shorts. I don't know how she comes up with them all. It's like one a day. It's just like, how do you do a new story every day? That's insane.
There's so many words, though. I mean, you could do it. Like, it's fun to test yourself and see what you come up with. I ended up putting 2 of my flash fictions in the back of Fractals, actually, the paperback version from the prompts that I got from Barrett.
Nice.
So I was like, I like these. Of course, they were horror because it was pretty fun to come up with those.
I might have to hold a pillow up during the scary bits for the read through then.
We'll see. I might not get. I guess it depends on what the genre is going to be. So we'll see what happens.
I live in the world.
I can't make any promises. I might still stick some horror in there no matter what genre I get, you know. My subgenre, the horror.
Ooh. Another subgenre. Okay, we are now doing the Wheel of Prompts.
Here we go.
So exciting. Let's get rid of this comment.
Are we going to give everyone their prompt and genre at the same time?
We'll do the Wheel of Prompts, then the Wheel of Genres.
Oh.
Nice.
So the Wheel of Prompts is what we all do, then we all get our own individual genres. Just to mix up that format, because we love doing that on the fly.
Who's getting that?
So we're all doing that one.
Oh, we are? Cool. Okay, cool. The door clicked. Okay.
And now we'll go to the Wheel of Genres. So who would like to go first?
Me.
It's very rude of you, Martin. We've got ladies present.
You chauvinist.
Okay, well, as Martin has been the most, vocal, I'll let him go first.
Fiction, interesting.
You devil, Martin.
That always happens.
Yeah.
I'll go next.
What's DL going to get? Someone says this is the most exciting part of the evening.
It is.
I'm like nervous.
Really?
Okay.
That's so funny.
I thought it was going to be romance.
I write that too, so it wouldn't matter.
Who wants to go next?
I'll go next.
Okay, Anita.
Ooh,
Ooh.
Yay!
Yeah.
It's not romance. That's all I care about.
Bruce is thinking as well.
Bethany, do you want to go next?
Sure. Hit me with it.
Historical.
Well,
like-
how do you feel about that?
I think I'd rather have romance.
Well, you were historical. You could make it any one of the other subgenres, if that makes you feel better.
Could do. You
True,
could
like,
make
what
it
is considered historical? Last week?
Anything.
Flash up.
Stick
The
it in the
flash are
Victorian era and
ruling
put
for
some gas lamps
historical.
in it, and you're fine.
Oh, man.
Just too medieval. Someone had armor on. Bam, done.
The flash
I'm
are
hoping I do get romance now.
historical is it has to be set before lunchtime. If it's set after lunchtime today, it's considered modern.
Yay!
You got romance.
Again,
Again.
Oh, that's
I
quite
wonder if
a-
there'll be grannies.
Oh, more than likely.
In Bethany's, there will be grannies.
I can't help
The
it.
prompt is just so people know, if you want to write along at home, you can do that. There you go, just so you know where you are. If you want to write along at home, you have the opportunity to send yours in to be read by your choice of panelist, which will be me.
Always.
Always me.
This is our opening sentence, correct?
He does. Yeah. So, Martin, you're going to get the timer going, aren't you?
Oh, you know it.
It'll take me 500 years to figure out how to write this sentence.
Yeah,
Give me
you
the
could have
copy and
copied
paste
it.
into the private chat.
Oh, perfect.
I've
Oh,
practically
yes.
written it now. What's the point?
I'm going to use it.
She wants me to read it aloud. The door clicked closed behind. Turning into the darkness, his eyes widened, and with a scream, the air emptied from his lungs.
Creepy.
I've got to write a romance around this.
Well, he saw her beauty, so you know, maybe. He's like,
Okay, that's something.
you know, hey.
He saw, splayed open, with her legs splayed open.
Ew,
Betty,
okay, thank you. Enough for that.
I'm going
Yeah.
erotica, or is that what we're doing?
There's a difference. There's a fine line, Richard. You
Is
crossed
that what we're
it.
doing?
If that happens, you're doing
I
kissing wrong.
mean, I'm all for that. I'm not against it. I write that too, so let's go.
Do people have ideas?
Not a one, but it's the historical that's throwing me off. I've never written anything historical. Like,
Testing you today, Beth.
yeah, I know.
Testing you. I'm not getting tested today. It's like thriller. I'm like, all right, then. I like Ava was like, it's rigged.
rigged?
I'm like, no. I was shocked.
Never.
I got thriller.
Thriller.
I don't mind a good idea for like someone doing a spacewalk and then remember that's what Ben did last time.
What?
Spacewalk.
Yeah, on the last Flash Aha, Ben Pick had sci-fi and did someone having problems doing a spacewalk. It was very good. Just check it out.
Cute. I will. Yeah, I missed a bunch.
There are some good stories there, none of which are written by me. Right, Martin, are you going to arrange the timer? Shall I put the prompt as a scrolly thing on the bottom?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Hold on. Yay! I can do things. So Martin is going to be preparing the timer.
Vamp.
Sorry?
Vamp.
What are you saying vamp for? Oh, ooh.
Fancy.
On your marks, get set. Right.
How's everyone doing?
Pretty good.
Written 418 words. Where the hell did that come from?
Wow, well done.
Yeah.
237.
Wow.
Are they science fiction words, though?
I
There-
got
What, you mean like quark and supernova?
There you go.
Nice work. I got around 600-ish words, which was quite
What?
a lot. I know. I'm gonna have to cut some stuff
Cheating.
out. But I will say, I write fast. Come on.
You
But I
do
will
too.
say, I did get the word gas lamp in there. So this is
Yes.
for real a historical fiction.
I got 169. So
That's good.
Hey!
I'm at 172.
Nice.
Bethany, was the gas lamp inspired by your bird cages behind you?
No, and they're lamps. They're lamps behind me. Yes. No. What do I have? I have the word parlor in there. I have a carriage and gas lamp. So
You're going
Oh, and a-
Victorian. You're going
and a
Victorian.
nightgown and a snuffed out candle. So I think we've hit it.
Let's see how the chat got on, shall we?
Yes. Who in the chat is writing along with us? I'm curious.
Aphrodite is writing steampunk. I'm very excited to read that.
Nice.
Eva kind of went on a bit of a dark path. I'd go with a gas chamber, but I'm dark, Bethany. Like,
No.
I don't believe he's writing today. Because he is
Had to
boring
work.
and he got a job. Ugh.
Horrible.
He might send us one of his reports to read out.
Gas chambers like, "Ugh. Can I get that into my romance? Well, it's not very romantic if your date ends up in a gas chamber. And I explained to Aphrodite that she gets 2 times 10 minutes. Shannon liked the countdown timer, Martin. So
Well done.
It was a lot of blood, sweat, and tears.
And then she put
Shout out
Carrot
to Miss
roll.
Once in a Hedge
Oh,
who
bird roll.
did the 3D modelling.
Doing a writer. So what you're saying
we
is you
have
got
3D models. We're that
You
kind
got
of Flash program.
that done bespoke for us. Oh, very fancy.
Yeah, no,
And
it's fake.
Shannon isn't writing, but I'm sure she's thinking of us. I was kind of impressed with how that went because mine's kind of going a little bit maybe Downton Abbey-esque-ish.
I didn't know you'd seen Downton Abbey.
The good old days.
What, of last
What does that
year?
mean?
No, the 1920s. No, it's kind of got that kind of vibe going with mine, but it's kind of interesting. I think there's going to be a bit of a dark twist coming up.
I feel like it's a Halloween special. If there's not a dark twist, we're all doing it wrong.
Yeah, we've got to make them scary no matter what the genre is.
I like my
all of the
concept,
panelists are like, yeah, that's our normal.
Martin, you were saying?
I like my concept, but now I've got to figure out how to bring it to a close.
Well, I don't think I'm going to be closing this by the time I get into the next episode, but it's good. I don't really care.
Well, I think you need to do some research into the genre and reader expectations.
I can do all that in 10 minutes.
Well, you know,
If I
who
had like
could?
an hour, maybe I would.
Typist with the mitist.
Ooh. Hang on, who's the typist with the mitist?
Bethany.
What?
I want to
I
ask
missed it.
Bethany a question. Why
Yeah.
has she put her books that way round on her bookshelf?
To take Instagram photos for the aesthetic. So I can't find so we just moved. I can't find my box of books, and I can't find the box of my author copies, which I was doing some giveaways and stuff, and I'm like, I have 10 of each that I want to give away. I can't find them anywhere.
You may have already given them away, like you gave away your passport.
Yeah, that's rather unfortunate. Involuntary gifting. Yeah, that's called theft.
Personal information.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah. You could write a horror story about what you'd like to do to the person who stole your passport.
Make them do the paperwork that I have to do to replace it. That's akin to torture.
Make them queue up for it.
Oh, there's
It's gonna be like a new thing on
Right.
Saw. Be like, you're gonna do this paperwork.
You're gonna do it
Yeah, it's eternal paperwork.
forever.
Yeah, that's torture.
So when they go to hell, they'll have an infinitely long form to fill out.
It never ends.
Like, if you want to go to heaven, you have to complete this form. It's 400,000 pages. Off you go.
well, hello, hell.
Well, I'm supposed to have comfy. Or worse, they make you fill it out with a pen that doesn't quite work, and you have to keep scribbling on the side of the page. That's the worst, isn't it?
That's good. That's true. That's the stuff of nightmares.
Oh my.
I lost my appetite. I'm sticking with coffee. Where are we at with the shuckers? We've had sprint number 1 of 2, so there's plenty of time for you to crack open your document, Adrian. I'll put the prompt back up.
I kind of
There we
fancy a
go.
fried egg now he's mentioned eggs.
Well, I had jacket potatoes for dinner.
That's
We've come
good.
to the point in the stream where we talk about food.
I love it. It's my favorite thing.
Baked potatoes.
With
Mm.
pineapple.
I made potato soup in a vlog recently, so there you go.
I have a recipe for a very nice potato and chicken chowder somewhere. I must remake that at some point.
Yum yum.
Mm. Here's the question, though. What about tuna in a mac and cheese? What do we think
Get
about
out. Get out.
Don't be doing that. No.
No,
I like those things separately.
that?
You
I
can
mean,
have tuna with macaroni in there, but you start talking about putting tuna in macaroni cheese, I'm gonna have to slap you. I don't want to have to
It does
slap you,
work.
Richard.
you're going to slap me.
I'm gonna have to slap you, Richard.
Ow. Actually, they did generally know that. Martin, you're going to put a time code for when the bit where Richard hits himself. Guys in the
Oh,
audience,
yeah.
if you want to clip
I'm
that
glad
bit now, go ahead.
I'm glad we remembered to make a note of the time codes to make that easier to.
Oh,
Yeah, on
geez,
top of-
Martin, we're going to have to go back and look at them, aren't we, on the replay? Never mind. Are we all feeling suitably oiled to continue?
Well,
Yes.
we must
My-
continue.
We're gonna get it done. My new goal is to write the word Davenport in there somewhere, so we'll see what happens.
Davenport,
Hmm.
that could be a first name or last name.
You solidify that this is now historical.
It is. So make no mistake.
You could have Bethany, the Viscount of Davenport.
I love it.
See? I love
Or
it.
Jack Davenport in the
Do it.
sitcom Coupling in the late 90s. Or one of the Pirates of the Caribbean films.
That too.
Aphrodite said a Davenport was a piece of furniture. I'm looking it up right now.
I'm going to
It's
look
a
up what Davenport is.
Just so happened that,
You
some
can't
people's
believe
names
Aphrodite just
too.
because she tells you something's historical.
Why not? She seems like she knows what's going on.
She does.
So
She knows a lot of
you
things.
said
Yes, I
passport
do believe
inspector.
Davenport is a piece of furniture. I can't remember what one now.
Names
at the
also
moment,
could be
but-
people's names, apparently.
Riveted
Yes.
leather sofa.
Is this okay?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Okay. Cool.
That is
Never let it
riveting
be said that
information.
Black Heart is not a learning experience.
This is not supposed to be education. We want to retain our audience, not bore them to death. Books Baby says oil. Well, you got to kind of oil the writing muscle, haven't you? It's like a machine. And I've mixed my metaphors there a little bit, haven't I?
Maybe.
The best kind of metaphor is a mixed one.
Aphrodite said she promises she is correct.
You
Laugh
are.
out
We
loud.
googled it. Yeah, you're good. I believed you. Let the record show. I was.
And
I
she was
believed
like, look, Aphrodite said it's furniture. See,
you. "Who am I to question her?"
this is true.
So,
I can confirm.
There it is.
there we go.
Bam.
Love it.
Boom, bam.
That looks very. I don't know what these dots are. Oh, search for. posh, isn't it? But that is what a Davenport is.
Perfect.
It's comfortable.
It does look comfortable, doesn't it? But let's make our characters and our situations uncomfortable for the next 10 minutes.
I would
Well,
like
my character's already uncomfortable, man. Open uncomfortable.
Yeah. I've ended my sprint run on a line that I'm guaranteeing is going to make you all laugh / groan / both.
You do that regularly, so I'm not going to be surprised.
Oh,
my.
Gotta have faith.
Well, now
of the
I'm curious.
heart.
What's
You're
what's
quoting
everyone's
the
favorite line?
Enterprise theme song.
Yes, I love that song.
Me too.
Oh, we are funny, aren't we?
You can't see it, but just here I have a little NX01 because I'm cool.
Woo! Yeah, you are cool if you got that. I'm just saying.
Oh my word. Muffled, he struggled against last night's one-night stand.
Uh-oh.
He murdered her, yet her kiss drew the very life from his body until she dropped his mask. The banshee grinned, "No more victims for you." I don't know why I did that in a voice, by the way. I have no idea where that came from.
Yes, she did. Very good.
You'd never know that Richard wasn't actually from America at all.
Writing American is difficult as a Brit. You know, all the you call a tap of Fawcett.
Hey, Victoria Wren's written a whole series in the English, vernacular, and beta reading for her was always so much fun because I'm like, what the heck is a boot of a car? Like the little booties that they wear. No, it's the trunk. Who knew?
And I bet she snuck in a few aluminiums.
Aluminiums, yes. Or like vest, is that what you call like a tank top? Because I was thinking that one of our characters was just like wearing a vest. And I was like, odd style choice, but okay. And come to find out.
Oh, you mean like a waistcoat?
Yeah, I don't know.
We call a vest a waistcoat over here.
We call tank tops, and then a vest is what you call waistcoat, I guess. But
and we say porridge, whereas you say a meal from oats.
Oatmeal or cream of wheat. So.
Cream of Wheat. That sounds like a good band name, to be honest. Hello, Cream of Wheat.
Love that.
We should suggest that to Hannah Palmer because she has a band.
They're good. Have you heard them? They're good.
They are good. It'd be even better if they were called Cream of Wheat.
Calaveras is pretty cool, though.
That is also a very good name. Okay. And Shannon loves Cream of Wheat.
Me too.
I have to
Martin,
look at Spotify.
What, Cream of Wheat? Or
yes. Shall we let this... Yes.
Yes.
Okay, on your marks, get set, flash. Slash.
Aha. And that was all the time you get to Ash for this month.
Oh, thank God for that.
How do you do,
If
Dickie?
you, I got to a total of, let me just count, 777 words total.
Oh, very good. I got 452. But then, of course, it's quality of words rather than quantity. Wouldn't you agree?
No, I agree. I didn't think we were allowed to agree, Martin, because that threatens the heat death of the universe.
I thought we had to agree. Otherwise, there's just conflict.
That's what this story needs, conflict.
Perfect.
Ben is back and he says, ooh, spice. Is he talking about bloody June again? Oh, give it a rest.
Should I just email it to you, Richard?
Yes. You can send
Do you
as
need
a-
it in like a Word doc or something? Because I just copied and pasted it.
You can put it into the body of the email if you want. It's totally up to you.
Okay, I'll do that.
Because we have the technology.
Perfect.
I got into 321 words total.
Well done.
Very nice.
It will flash into your life.
So we send this to you now, do we?
Please do.
Okay.
Okay. I sent it.
Can we read our own, or do we need to send it to you, Richard?
You will be reading your own if you want.
Okay, I got it. Thank you.
Oh. To go with the horror theme of today's edition, I'm using Google Docs to organise these.
Don't talk bad about my Google Docs. I love it.
Oh, Martin has sent his. You little devil, Martin. I've messed up the formatting. So what's Books by Adrian up to? He's using these sprints to do some editing. I mean,
That's not how this works. This isn't your sprint stream. But
Get out of here.
Run of the mill sprint stream. Join this channel on the 1st of November at 2 o'clock GMT, where we will be doing just that for NaNoWriMo with friend of the show, Esty Houston.
Houston, we have a problem.
Everyone is going to be, I think November is just going to be insane with the number of sprints, and I am here for it. I love hopping on and
come on and do a sprint in November. Just give me a heads up. I was going to organise beforehand, then I didn't.
Geez, Bethany, if only there was a user who used to do a daily playlist of sprints.
I know. I used his stream or his links religiously, his playlist, because it was so convenient and I don't know what to do with myself anymore.
I think our prompt should have been torturing whoever got him banned from YouTube and doing horrible things to them.
So sad.
Right. Thank you, Anita. I've just received your submission. Very official, isn't it? We've received your submission.
Someone wrench Shannon. Wrench her.
Martin, can you wrench Shannon? Hang on, did she just say there's a spreadsheet for streams?
Yes, there is. That's right. Somebody made it. I seen that. I think it was in Margaret's.
Okay, I need to control myself now.
And then as
it was
executive power.
I think Margaret mentioned it in one of her streams.
Oh, Shannon, feel free to add the stream on Tuesday to it as well. I tried, but it wouldn't let me.
Right, dear, I'm just waiting for your piece to come through. Shannon has a wrench, or as we call in this country, a spanner.
Oh,
Get
really
outta
throwing a
here.
spanner in the works there.
We really did. If you in the chat are yet to submit your piece for reading, then please do using the email address on screen. There. Who knows anymore?
Who's to say? Who is to say?
Who's to say?
Who's to
Oh,
say, Richard?
Bethany, you need to do some merch with "Who's to say" and get Richard on there.
I have an Etsy shop and I have one that says "It's fine" over the top. That's probably my bestseller. It's fine.
You need to do one with like a picture of you staring uncomfortably at the camera while you're cooking.
Yeah, I need one with you, and it says like something about spreadsheets.
As long as it's not Books by Adrian's crappy no spreadsheets t-shirt.
Like, we don't tolerate that hate over here. No, I appreciate spreadsheets. I really do. But I use Google Sheets. Does that make me a terrible human because I don't like Excel?
I mean, it's like
Richard's limited worldview.
I'll do a spreadsheet tour for you, Richard, one day. You can see how I do everything.
I mean, it is the Pepsi to my Coke, shall we say.
Well, I like
I just
Pepsi,
emailed
so
it to you, Richard.
Oh, thank you.
Sorry. I'm delayed.
That's fine. That's fine. I believe Emma Bennett made the spreadsheet. I think Adrian gets the idea that we all literally draft in Excel, which I'd like to try that just to kind of wind him up.
What?
I mean, Adrian, no one is saying you write the actual book in a spreadsheet, but it's a good plan. I mean, that is Martin. Do you reckon you could do your entire NaNoWriMo project in Google Sheets?
Just because you can do a thing does not mean you must do that thing.
Ooh. Oh. Got Tillery's entries. Anyone else sending anything in? Because going once, going twice. Bethany, have you sent yours in?
I did. I think I sent it to your personal email because I was on autopilot. I'm sorry.
That would explain what that noise was. Hold on.
It was like, Richard, I'm over here.
I know. I was just like, I type in Richard. What else do you want me to do? And yeah, sorry.
I need to find a better way of doing this. Okay, hold on. Ooh, got Bethany from a Bethany from Votaw, an email from Bethany. Right.
Ooh, nice spreadsheet. Do they have like times on it? Oh, but they're by day.
Yeah, but only American times, which is no use to anyone really.
Except for everyone over here, you know. Get out of here.
I mean, it would be quite easy to put like a formula in to convert the times to a proper time zone, like, I don't know, GMT. Okay. We're nearly there, folks, and then we'll start with the reading.
Leading?
Leaving? Oh, not that again. Okie dokie.
Oh, Richard, I meant to tell you earlier, but you should do Nano because they're offering 40% off on Pro Writing Aid to winners.
Ooh! So I could just type 50,000 words of any old shit and get that, couldn't I?
You could, but morally, you wouldn't be able to sleep at night.
If you want to read 50,000 words of utter shit from Richard, then buy Nightmare Tenant now.
You guys are so mean to each other. I don't understand. Siblings separated at birth who now like have a whole year of teenage angst to get out on each other. I don't understand.
Mean, all I'm going to say to that is subscribe to my
I'm already subscribed to your newsletter, Richard. So
no, you're fine. No, it's fine. I've got it now.
Preach into the choir.
I am only a mere mortal man. I can only do one thing at a time. Right, me old chaps. Get rid of that. Oh, I'm not doing mine first. I'll say the best till last. Let me just zoom in a little bit. Whoa, is that big enough?
Yeah.
That could be a good sentence to start with for romance week. Right, Anita, we're going to start with you because it's in no particular order. Hang on. When you're ready, please.
Okay. Okay, this is titled Ralph's Journey. The door clicked closed behind. Turning into the darkness, his eyes widened, and with a scream, the air emptied from his lungs. Regaining his breath, Ralph shouted, "It worked!" He didn't understand how. When he activated the now glowing red stone, nothing had happened. Why did it take 5 minutes? No matter. The front entrance had transformed into a shining portal at the end of the hall. He raced down the hall and eagerly jumped into the other world. What will I find? Narnia? Middle-earth? I'll become the chosen one for sure. He loped across a beautiful green meadow under a pink sky until he slipped on the wet grass and fell, shrieking many bad words. Groaning and sprawled on his back, he looked up to find 3 spear points aimed at his throat. The beings holding the weapons looked like elves. Oh, goody! Shut it, interloper, and get up. The center elf shouted in perfect English and poked his side with his spear. Ralph scrambled to his feet quickly. Are you taking me to your leader? To a beautiful elven city in the forest where I'll be the guest of honor? Nah, you humans are crap. Always finding those artifacts and coming over here with expectations. Give me that. The elf grabbed the stone out of Ralph's hand. Now get back to your own world and leave us be. With a swift kick to his backside, the elves shoved Ralph back through the portal, which closed behind him. Ralph landed in his front hall with a thud. How rude! The end.
Awesome.
It's cute.
It's good. That was whimsical. I liked it.
Very fun.
Yeah.
Whimsical, that is a good way of describing it.
So, yeah. I think Anita gets bonus points for using the English spellings of centre and honour. So.
Well, there are also the Canadian spellings, so...
Even better. I love Canada. Canada is my favourite place.
Oh,
Well
Canada.
done. No, I'm not singing the Canadian national anthem because I will probably get banned for that.
Well, that's
No, it's really
okay. Nobody in Canada knows the words anyway, so...
Well, we have a similar problem in the UK where people only know 5 words of a national anthem and have just gone and changed one of them.
After 70 years, awkward, isn't it? Not being funny, Martin, we pretty much only know the first verse of the national anthem because the one we usually only sing, isn't it?
Yeah, no one bothers with the 6th one that goes on about the rebellious Scots to quell.
Underrated. No, that was funny. That was a good... I did get kind of Narnia vibes from that. So well done, Anita. I like that.
Yeah, I enjoyed the story. I enjoyed the sarcastic elves.
Very
We can
witty.
get on board with that.
Sounds like elves.
They were probably British because we're very sarcastic.
That's why we love the British.
Yeah.
The sarcasm.
I think you guys are just mean. You're just mean.
Sarcasm always
Sarcasm.
comes off that way, but I definitely can relate. I'm sarcastic, so what can I do?
It's not mean, it's dry. Isn't it, Dickie, you bastard?
Don't call me Dickie. I keep telling you this. See, you'll never get the impression that me and Martin actually like each other. We've been described like an
Certainly
old
not
marriage. Yeah. Oh dear. Shall we move on to the next story then, which is by the lovely, if I click this button, because, you know, DL Tillery.
Me.
I am glad, Aphrodite. We are here to entertain, not educate, after all.
I assume she means our fabulous guests because we're not on our best behaviour.
We're never on our best behaviour, Martin. We just, you know...
Amen to that.
We start off thinking, okay, well, we'll do it well this year. We think, oh, sod it. Let's just be our usual selves. Okay. DL Tillery, would you like to read your story?
Yes, I can. And there is a typo at the bottom, but I fixed it. So if you see flash, I meant flesh.
Ooh.
All righty,
Anyone who
ready
doesn't
when
leave typos in loses points.
right. All right, this one's called To Hell. The door clicked closed behind. Turning into the darkness, his eyes widened, and with a scream, the air emptied from his lung. It was Fina. Even in the pitch darkness of his foyer, he could make out her long red hair. He backed up, tripping over his own feet, but caught himself against the wall. Did you miss me, Jack? She asked in a scratchy and slurred voice. Stay back, Fina, I mean it. Jack turned and ran to the kitchen, pulled open the first cabinet in front of him, and grabbed his gun. He turned to find Fina stalking towards him. She wore a long red sundress that was torn at the edges. He aimed and shot once, then twice. When they pierced her chest, she looked down, then back at him before falling to the hardwood floors. Jack stared down at her unmoving form, then stepped over her and ran to his bedroom. She's dead. There's no way she could be alive. I killed her. He gathered a rope and a large black trash bag, then returned to the kitchen only to find Fina gone. He looked around frantically. Fina, where are you? He dropped everything and ran for the front door, opened it, but found no sign of her on the porch. After stepping back inside, the door clicked closed behind him once again. He turned around just as a hand gripped his neck, closing off his airway. Fina stared up at him as she lifted his feet from the floor. Now you will pay for what you did to me and our child. I'm back, and it's now your turn to go to hell. A life for a life. Jack looked into the black sockets where her eyes should have been as her mouth contorted and widened, showing too many teeth. The last sounds he heard were his own screams and the sucking of flesh as he descended into hell. The end.
Nice. I couldn't remember what genre you got, and then by the third line, I was like, "Oh yeah, this is a thriller." I'm nervous.
That was really good.
Thank you.
Yeah,
No,
really good.
it was thrilling. Jeez, Richard, state the obvious, eh? No, really good. I was, you managed to create a whole kind of like world in fairly few words. So yeah, really good. Well done.
Flash is fun.
It is, isn't it? You're getting claps from Maggie.
Thank you.
Such great stories so far. So what Shannon's really saying is the quality is about to go.
Oh my.
Mistress of Horror.
I don't see it.
Well, the black sockets where her eyes used to be and her contorted mouth showing too many. Even that's like, oh. Well done.
Happy Halloween.
I'm noticing a theme with these stories, and they all start with the same sentence. Oh,
Weird.
that was the rules of this, wasn't it? Okay. Any more comments about? There's a comment from Maggie. No comment.
Love a good pun.
That's right. Okay, let's go on to the next story, shall we? It is by the lovely Queen of Flash. Well, we've got 3 Queens of Flash here, but
You better not be referring to me here.
oh, see.
Okay.
Bethany, you want to take it away?
A proper family. The door clicked closed behind. Turning into the darkness, his eyes widened, and with a scream, the air emptied from his lungs. It was about time. I was dead for half an hour. I was busy, lying face up in the parlor, nightgown all askew. The candle, thankfully, had been snuffed out when I collapsed. "Darling?" my husband asked as he approached. "Hello?" He shook my arm. His hand went to my breast and gave it a squeeze. Gosh, I hoped he wasn't into necrophilia. I simply wasn't in the mood. Death will do that to you. "Charles!" my husband called. "It's your mother." My son appeared, wide-eyed and sleepy, his 16-year-old body too long and lanky. He prodded my arm and announced that I was cold, a stiff. I was dead. He actually shed a tear, a real one. I think I surprised him. Death will do that too, I suppose. And finally, after what felt like an eternity staring at the ceiling, I floated out of my body to watch the scene unfold. It was rather nice. I would like to come back as a ghost, if only for a little while. It was rather pleasant, floating about, absolutely weightless. The doctors were called, and I was trotted off in a carriage. When did that heaven or hell part start? I wondered. I stayed back at the house. No use going to the funeral home. They just dress me up and bury me. No, I was rather surprised to see my sister trudge up the stairs in the early morning. She never stopped by. Ever. And now that I was gone, I was the one missing out. What poor timing. I just received the news, she said to my husband. She sidled up to him close. Too close. She kissed a tear on his cheek. He hugged her. He hugged her real hard. This was more than grief. We need to sort the funeral immediately, my sister said. She's not been dead for 2 hours. Give this a moment, my husband said. Time is important. My sister rubbed her belly. We need to be sensible. Right, my husband said, leaning in to kiss my sister. He kissed her nice and slow, like it meant something, the bastard. Charles walked in, yelled something. It was too hard to hear over my own fury, but nevertheless, the couple sprang apart for the time being. Well done, Charles. To think, my own sister, and I wasn't even that cold yet. Now I really wish I were a ghost. I'd haunt her, make a gas lamp explode, or at least terrorize her cat and make the nights a living hell. Eventually, my sister left, head held high. She smirked throughout my funeral. It really was lovely, all things considered. It was a sudden death, after all, and that does bring a certain element of drama for any occasion. It was soon after my funeral that Judgment Day came. Quite nice of the celestial being to let us spirits stick around and watch the services. You see, the angel said, you were not a particularly good person or a particularly bad person, quite mid-range, and that's fairly common, I'm afraid. But our records indicate that you wanted to remain a ghost. I'll give you 6 weeks. We'll make our decision after your probation. So I was a ghost. My sister moved in with my husband. It took her a few weeks, but the one day turned into 2, then 3, then permanent. Charles didn't seem to mind so much. He spent most of his time pilfering my things and selling them for a hit of opium. I couldn't be mad. Still, it was quite a bratty thing to do. He found my stash of rather expensive cigarettes I'd hidden in the Davenport. But my sister, she was another thing. When my husband had to work late, she took the opportunity to invite a male friend over. I wasn't sure what to do. I mean, the wench was cheating on my husband, the bastard. And I wasn't sure what exactly my limits were. Was startling a straight-to-hell offense? What could I do that wouldn't upset the angels? Or maybe I'd be stuck a ghost forever, which wouldn't be too bad, but heaven did sound nicer. But I lost it. When she took the stranger into my marriage bed that she and my husband had soiled with their own infidelity, I made a gas lamp explode. The little pop and fire didn't knock her out. It was the falling of the brass bar in which it was mounted that killed her. Smacked her right in the head. Her young man friend promptly exited without a backwards glance. So when my husband returned home, the authorities were called. It was rather suspicious, you see, with me dying so suddenly and now my sister. He was arrested and held, and the scientists dug up my rotting bones, and they performed new tests in this new field called forensics. How foreign. Even in my death, I was a trailblazing trendsetter. Anyway, they found strychnine, a new poison. It mimics heart attacks, which was how I died. The bastard put it in my Earl Grey tea, claiming the new brand was just bitter. Anyway, my sister is dead, my husband is in prison, and my son's an opium addict, and I am in hell. Quite the proper family.
Very good.
Bethany, that was vote awesome.
I like the line
I love the whole kind of like,
over my own fury.
yeah. I love the whole kind of voice of that, and I actually think justice was served in the end.
I don't know. I wanted something playful yet still dark. I don't know. So that's what we got.
You succeeded.
The only thing missing was the sister popping up as a ghost at the end and then being stuck together forever.
I know. I should have said, and I am in hell, where I met my sister.
Nice.
It was good. Well done.
Thank you.
Any more comments in the chat? You got an OMG from Shannon. I kind of love the kind of concept where when you die, you become a ghost while your application for heaven is vetted.
Yeah, you're on probation.
It'll be between 6 to 8 weeks.
Exactly.
And there was a Davenport.
There was a Davenport. Did you guys catch the gas lamp not once but twice?
Yes, we got
you. Thank you.
Very good.
You could accuse her of gaslighting him.
Gas lamping him.
Yeah, you should have just not put it in and then be like, did you like those references? Mm-hmm. There were several.
Well done. Shall we move on to the next story then?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Oh God, it's a Martin one.
Spelling.
Sorry,
Let's,
spelling. Oh, yay! Oh, hang on.
Ease. I knew he was going to do that.
There you go. Martin, do you want to take it away?
The door clicked closed behind, turning into darkness. His eyes widened, and with a scream, the air emerged from his lungs. The EVA had gone wrong. In his helmet, an alarm now sounded. Daniels gasped. No one told me this was a costume party. The noise of a crowd, the upbeat playlist that only ever comes out with these kinds of gatherings. Someone was crunching on nibbles. I said, no one told me this was a costume party, Dave repeated with a slight chuckle that sent the first quarter-inch of his beer in a dive to the carpet. Daniels knew this place. It was the apartment in Islington he'd been living at when he first met Melissa, where they'd had their engagement party. Oh no. He was having trouble breathing. He lifted a gloved hand and began to remove the bulky helmet of his EVA suit. The hell are you doing? Miller was screaming across his radio. It looked like you were trying to remove your helmet. Focusing on Earth below, Daniels calmed himself. I'm good. I'm all good, he confirmed. I was having issues, but it seems to be under control. I'm not under your control, Melissa said with a laugh. Not for another 6 months at least. The whole room laughed. Daniels felt nauseous. He needed fresh air and made a move for the balcony. It was hard to move in the spacesuit. This too shall pass. Daniels looked at the cave he now found himself in. At his feet, a pile of bones. I said, pass the cable, Miller said over the radio, his arm outstretched. Daniel started passing the cable over and pulling himself back towards the airlock. He pulled himself forcefully. He had to make it. This was his only chance. Darling, don't go, Melissa cooed into his ear. Everyone's here to see you. Her bright blue eyes looked directly into his soul. Her hand wrapped around his arm, how she was used to, except never this tight. The suit was designed to withstand extreme temperatures of vacuum. So how was this cave feeling so cold? Daniels couldn't see anyone, but there was a presence here, malevolent. He turned to run, but there was no sign of a way out. Instead, he did the only option left to him. He began to release his helmet. Miller was on the radio again. I don't know what he's playing at. I couldn't stop him. Did the airlock repressurize in time? Did it? I'm so excited, honey. This has been the perfect evening, Melissa told him, still looking straight at him. Your friends. We're all so happy to see you one last time.
Ooh.
Creepy.
Nice. Everybody was bringing the creepy.
I had this question. He's wearing just either as a helmet.
What was the inspiration for this?
There was a timer, and I knew I was going to have to read something out.
Gotcha.
Just inspiration.
Perfect.
Yeah, claps from Maggie. Always good. That got creepy near the end.
Yeah.
The beginning, no, it was good. It was good, very good.
Well, I tried to, put into words that feeling of, spending time with you, Richard.
They're so mean to each other. Like, you need to go.
That's how you know they're really close friends.
It's true.
Shannon liked it.
Shannon's like, I don't know about this scary stuff, but
Oh, that was good, Martin. I do enjoy your whimsical writing from time to time.
I was trying to do that thing that you can do really easily in film, where you can just be in different places and sort of hear the sound before the picture catches up and whatnot. And maybe it worked, maybe it didn't. Who's to say?
I think
Martin,
it
you'll
works.
relate to this.
You have to be absolutely insane to do a 48-hour film challenge. The last time I did one, it was with the executive producer of Loki.
Ooh.
Was that a humble brag?
Yes, I believe it was.
Nothing humble about that.
Very good. And Aphrodite says, Chaos, Madison, Fad. Well, I suppose in that order, isn't it? Oh.
Richard, you made a short film. Do you want to link it?
Yeah, I did.
Thinking about
Yes, when you're an employee of mine, isn't it? Here is the short film that I made and employed Martin on, and I've, made bad life decisions.
Man, that sounds so intimidating. I have no experience with film whatsoever.
And it was a Doctor Who fan film.
Yay.
Bethany, you watched it and you didn't really understand much of it, but you enjoyed it.
No idea. I was just being supportive. I've never seen Doctor Who, so.
I'm a big Doctor Who fan, so I need to check this out.
Yeah, you guys in the chat. Speaking of things written by me, shall we read my story next?
Yes.
Oh, I forgot there was another one.
I've been impatiently waiting for this one. Let's go.
Hold on a second. Right.
Oh, Ben is very shocked that Bethany has not seen Doctor Who. He's like, what?
I know.
Okay.
David Tennant was my favorite. I love
But
David.
he's back, apparently. Oh, whoops, spoilers.
Yes.
I've just been rewatching Series 3, and the David Tennant ones are so good.
They
I
are.
love David Tennant.
Check out Good Omens if you haven't. He's brilliant in that.
Oh, it is so
you
good.
know,
Yeah.
David Tennant, I'm all over. I've seen that.
The book was hilarious, but the film just added a whole new depth to it. It was so funny.
I'm going to start reading now. The door clicked closed behind. Turning into the darkness, his eyes widened and, with a scream, the air emptied from his lungs. He didn't think he'd ever see her again, but there she was, a scarlet deceiver laid out before him, her scent and sticky presence drawing him in. Beneath him, he felt the rug pull from under him. He tumbled, the room spinning as his head was dragged down, and with a thump his head hit the tarnished parquet floor, and the vision that consumed him faded into blackness. He remembered all those summer days not that long ago. He'd walked the grounds of the impressive home, pushing the mower across the grass. It was a job he'd started again only as soon as he finished it, for the acres of grass grew with vigour on that verdant plot. One day, in the depths of August, he brushed up against the honeysuckle and glanced towards the balcony. She was there, her skin taut and pale, like she'd never seen sunlight, and an apprehensive glance across her face. She wore a carmine and ruby gown that flowed across her dainty figure. It was like being outside in the radiant sunlight was a confusing experience, and one she didn't like. He stood there, shears in a limp hand, watching her rub her exposed shoulders with her gloved hand with unease. As quickly as she had appeared, a figure in the door ushered her back inside, but not before she'd given a monitoring glance across the grounds. He blinked, just to miss that brief moment where their eye lines would have coalesced before she disappeared. "Oi, Harry," one of the other groundsmen said, pushing a roll along the path with an earthy rumble. "Don't you be gawping at her. Who is she, Stephen?" he said, dropping his shiz as he clutched at his overalls in admiration. "I must know." "She's the Marchioness," Stephen said. "She's been housebound for years. I heard his lordship despair at her condition. Yet there she is." "I must see her again," Harry said, taking a step forward towards the brownstone of the house. "You mustn't," Stephen said. "Don't be fooled. To pursue her would be a mighty folly." "How do you know?" "Many lad in his lordship's employ had befallen on her wily charms. Now, to work," he said. "The days get shorter with every morning." Shaking his head, Harry wouldn't be deferred, but for the rest of the week he happily trimmed her various bushes. He ran.
Sometimes I am occasionally mean to you, and this is why.
He ran his fingers up her rose stems with delicate care, avoiding her hard, woody thorns, and the lopping the buds delicately with his secateurs. One evening, he pushed his barrow to the tool shed, Clattering against the loose aged wood that was warped with time itself, he hung his hoe high on the peg, then turned, wiping down his dirt-caked hand on his overalls. A gust of wind caught the door, which wailed as the wood moved, then slammed into the frame. Bloody thing, he said, reaching out to pull the door open. He yelled with pain, then looked down, seeing a 4-inch splinter embedded into his thumb. Jesus Christ! With his free hand, he approached the door again, but withdrew. Sod that, he said, then used his foot to hook the door open and open it with a creak. He looked up as he stepped from the shed into the dewy ground outside. Hello, she said. Blimey, Harry said, sputtering. Before him was the Marchioness, in the same dress as the previous time. She stood on the rough stone path, her arms static by her side. Your Majesty, Your Highness, your... She reached out, but ignored his predicament. You've injured yourself, poor thing. Harry looked down, seeing a darkness seeping out from around the splinter. A dull ache was working along his arm. Lord, so I am. Looking up, he thought she'd moved, this time closer. But he'd heard no footsteps, no clack of shoe on stone or thrash of grass. How did you... Give me your hand, she said, but didn't wait for a reply. She slipped her dainty fingers towards him in a web, then around his hand. With her other hand she reached for the splinter. He flinched. She paused. They met eyes. I won't hurt you. It's not quite what I'm worried about, Harry said. He winced, feeling a sharp prick of pain, then warmth. There, she said, I hope this frees you of your pain. Who are you? He asked. She turned her head. Quite a question for a lowly servant, she said, without a hint of humour in her voice.
Interesting. Also, ew.
What was the ew for you, Bethany? Was it about him trimming her bushes?
We don't need to dissect it. A vivisection, I think, would be less traumatic.
I thought it was quite funny.
I mean,
but did you kind of get the kind of vibe of something not quite right with this woman?
I thought maybe it relates that she's a vampire, possibly, or something along those lines. At least if you're to be locked up and also being pale, and then on his, wearing the gloves for no reason, and then also being intrigued by the fact that he had a wound. She's trying to be interested, but also standoffish. So I thought maybe.
And also, she moved closer to him without making any footsteps. Ooh.
Exactly. So I thought vampire, but that could just be me because I'm the Mr. Poor. So
yeah, I got vampire vibes too. So
I was to be honest, I was making it up as I went along, but there definitely could be a vampire. Okay. Thanks, Martin.
I'm intrigued, Richard. I'm intrigued.
Yeah, I'm kind of intrigued where that went. I wasn't sure whether it was going to be historical or not, so I kind of went.
It could go either way, honestly.
It could go either way. It could be late 19th century.
I mean, if she ends up being a vampire, she might not have forgotten her past, so her being kind of historical herself could bring just that feeling, even if it wasn't set in that time. So,
Aphrodite says, "Lol."
Yeah, she's laughing at the bushes.
She has a man to trim her bush.
Yeah.
I can't.
And Maggie said, I feel sad that she's buried under the rose bush. Well, she certainly has a rose bush. A thorny one.
I can't.
A name is forgotten man by Ooh, she gets it.
Mm-hmm.
Martin is plugging his wife's business.
Yes, I see.
Well done.
Nice.
Ben is back on his running to write account. Good for him.
I thought there was 2 Ben picks.
You just couldn't pick which one, could you?
I do feel so bad, the caliber of guests and the caliber of viewers we have on this, and we treat them as we do.
I know, we always get such wonderful people on here, and we just sort of, and we treat them well, I think.
Yeah, well,
we
know what we're signing up for.
Yeah, exactly. You know what you want. You know what's coming. Bethany, you've basically got a frequent flyer card at this point.
No, thank you. I've only been, I don't know how many episodes you've done, but I've only been on a small handful.
I think this is the 14th. Like it says at the bottom.
I think I've been on like
we've at
3
least
or 4, maybe 4.
I think you are getting into veteran status.
Thank you. It's just because I like flashing. So.
Finished walking my dog, who's all dressed up as a skeleton. Please tell me you took a photo.
Yeah,
Aw,
post it on
cute.
Instagram. I'm waiting.
I had a
Or was
knock
it
on
on
the door.
Instagram?
I don't know. I'm gonna look it up. It better be.
Let's all just check our Instagrams now and forget about the
I
stream.
am because this seems very important. He's gonna have this mob after.
It isn't a spin-off or a riff-off. We know what to
I
do.
don't see it on Instagram. And what are you doing? I need to see this skeleton dog.
He's like,
It
come
did
on!
start off. It did start off as a rip-off, then it became a spin-off, then it became its own thing. No, that was good fun. Did we all have a good time?
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Fun.
Good group.
I had a knock on the door this morning, and I went to answer it carefully to position myself to not show that I was wearing my Star Wars gym jams, only to look up to see the postman was wearing a skeleton onesie and a witch's hat.
Nice.
So you could have just
Love it.
Did you take a picture of them, Martin?
No.
Don't often take pictures
Sadly.
of your Oh, it's funny. He's back. Not yet. TBD. Give me a few minutes.
He's going to
Shannon says lots of fun. Well, we're counting that as an application for next month. And the rifting. Speaking of rifting, we're doing Martin's book again on the BookTube Adrian Book Club thing, whatever it's called these days, in a couple of weeks.
Cool.
Week Tuesday, isn't it?
Something like that, yeah. Martin, have you announced the title of the second book yet?
No.
Okay. How could people contact you if they wanted to know this in advance? Do you have a newsletter of some kind?
Yeah,
Be a
there's a
beta
link.
reader.
There's a link down there to bradleylejeune.com. Sign up for all the latest and get Withdrawal, a free short story.
You won't get withdrawal symptoms after reading that. Bethany, you've got a newsletter, haven't you?
I do have a newsletter.
I can't remember the last time you sent it, though.
Yeah, same.
That's me just casually calling you out there.
Yeah, I need it. Yeah, no, I'm taking my inspiration from you, Richard. You have a great newsletter. You're very diligent about it, and I am none of those things. So
very diligent.
gonna try once a month. Of course, I said that last year. I just feel like I have nothing to talk about. But
it's a little hard, but Richard's really good at it. But I do bi-monthly because I figure more stuff will be going on if I give him a month in between.
I learned
probably what I'll probably go with, a little less of a.
I learned all I know about newsletters basically from Shannon's videos about story origin and doing swaps. I was talking to Ben, as it happens, about newsletter dates, and he was thinking, shall I change my newsletter date to the 1st of the month? And I'm thinking, well, you could, but everyone does that. So your newsletter is going to end up in a pile of newsletters.
Slush pile.
Very true.
I mean, my schedule is the last Monday of every month. I don't know how I decided on that one. But I think I'm going to stick to that one because it does tend to work.
Yeah, I do mine the first Friday and Saturday of every month.
It's a good schedule because that kind of moves a little bit. But I think the trouble with the first is everyone's newsletters are going to come out then and you're going to get lost. It's like, I think Ben was talking to me about his next book. He was thinking of releasing it in December. And I'm thinking December might not be a good month for a release because everyone's doing it.
Does everyone do it in December?
Yeah, because obviously you've got the Christmas, or as you call it in America, the holidays, which I'm very pleased you call it the holidays because you're talking about me.
Thank you.
I mean, I'll take it saying Christmas or holiday doesn't bother me either way. Like, I know what you mean. So, yeah, I didn't know that people really release that often in December, really, but I guess I'm just buying books. I'm not paying attention.
He has
Print books
confirmed.
do well in December. Ebooks generally don't.
Yeah, I noticed
I guess they want to
increase
wrap
in
something.
sales.
Is
Yeah.
that what it is?
Can't really wrap a Kindle because that's quite an expensive commitment, isn't it?
Let me wrap this ebook. Oh wait, that doesn't work.
What would be good is if you could buy an ebook as like a code that people can then redeem. That's not
Yeah, I
quite the
guess so.
same as. I mean, not being
Oh.
funny, you could print that off and put that in a car. It's not quite the same as unwrapping a book, like, you know.
Right though. I mean, everyone likes to unwrap gifts, so I guess when it's like, you know, not physically there, it's going to be like boo to them.
Yeah. And also, Shannon makes this point: ads run high, so dominated by those who have cash flow, and those are the books others see. It's a good point.
Yeah.
Everyone's advertising.
Yeah.
And what else? There are so many December holidays, so that's why.
Yeah.
I mean, it is basically like a week of holiday. You have Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, Boxing Day, then you have bloody New Year's Day. It's like, what's going on?
Yeah.
It's that kind of week in the year where you just kind of like forget what day of the week it is. You think, oh, it's like the 4th day after Christmas. So fuck knows what day it is.
Right.
We need to coordinate releases. We do. We need to have like a spreadsheet of upcoming releases so we can all coordinate. I mean, not being funny, I'm a big advocate of this. And if Martin tells you any different about him being a spreadsheet guy, he's full of filthy lies. But honestly, spreadsheets
You don't
make the
have
world
any
go round.
prior art outdating my claims, I'm afraid.
I mean, Martin, not being funny, the facts don't matter. It's the narrative. No one cares about what the truth is. They just care about what sounds right.
Well, he's not lying.
Well, I could go into quite.
Yeah, well.
Shannon says,
Watch
"I'll
yourself.
be coming up." That's exciting.
Oh, what birthday?
Are you going to do a joint launch party with Ben?
No, the point is to avoid launching on the same day, so we're not fighting each other for streams and conversation space.
He'd probably make you go running as well, Martin.
Yeah, he would. He's like that.
I forgot about all these ones. Yule, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, all those fun holidays.
All of those.
You will not want to miss those. Remember to log it.
You'll be sorry.
Thunder Library.
Hunger Library. Isn't that what they call a food bank, Martin? A hunger library.
Anyway.
You can tell my jokes have not impressed Martin when he does that. Shall we wrap this one up to carry on with the Christmas theme?
This has
Sounds
been
like a plan.
Flash Aha, your monthly Flash fiction stream of choice. And we will be back in November for even more shenanigans. Join us here on Saturday, the 26th of November, to do this all over again.
Put it in your calendars. Do it now.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Let's go round the panel and de-introduce ourselves. I'll start with Anita. Ooh.
Well, hello. Yes, I'm Anita Stewart, AF Stewart. You can find me on my website, afstewart.ca. If you want to read more of my Flash, I do Drabble Wednesday every week, or most every week. And currently I'm doing the Frankie and Johnny series again, so you can find virtual sci-fi hijinks. And I also do Flash over on Pen of the Damned, which is all horror.
Also, there's a really creepy backdrop. I like it.
Yeah.
And now we go to Bethany to talk herself out of this.
Hi, hello. My name is Bethany Votaw. I write thrillers and short story collections under this name. Yeah, that's about it.
And finally, to complete our trio of incredible guests, we have D.L. Tillery, the Mistress of Horror.
Hello, everyone. The Mr. Horror author, Dale Tillery. You can catch me over on my channel, and actually tomorrow you can catch my new series, Lair of the Mistress, where I do a dark romance reading of poetry over there. Also, you can get The Room Within free right now if you want to scare yourself at night, during the day, in the afternoon. I don't know, all those places. And you can catch anything else I got going on my channel if you want to be scared, as I like to say. Stay scared.
Thank you. It was fun to be with you all today. Thanks for coming. Martin, any final words?
What an absolute pleasure as always, and a special thank you to anyone who's come back and watched through the whole replay. You are our particular favourites today. Join us on Tuesday on this channel for a sprint with SD Houston, and then the following Tuesday on her channel for another sprint. There will probably be even more for NaNoWriMo. Thank you and good night.